Are coding bootcamps worth it? I'm a career changer and I just finished a bootcamp course and I got a job within 4 weeks of finishing the course. So the short answer is yes. But having said that, you do have to take into account your previous experience and the job market, and also figuring out if a bootcamp structure is for you. So first of all, what is a coding bootcamp? A coding bootcamp is basically a course that runs over 12 or so weeks, and it takes you from very beginner to a level where you would be able to apply to junior roles or entry-level jobs. Now, as I mentioned before, I was able to secure a job within 4 weeks of finishing the course, but that's not the case for everyone. So I really want to manage your expectations, because there is a lot of people that go on these courses, and I'm talking hundreds of people. And with the job market so crazy right now, it can be very, very difficult if you don't get the right opportunity at the right time, and it can just be really crushing because you've gone through that experience and you've got no outcome that you wanted. Now, my overall thoughts on the bootcamp were that it was really well structured and it ran from 9 till 5 every day. So it was like a full-time, except weekends, it was like a full-time job, which is good because it really keeps you committed, and only the people that want to really do this will do it because it's such high commitment. I also thought it was very intense, so every single day we would move on to a new topic, be learning new things, and it was at some points very hard to keep up because they would just keep it going. I guess that's the point of a boot camp, because they have to fit so much in such a short amount of time. So if you're a person that doesn't work well under pressure, I wouldn't really recommend a boot camp because it's intense all the way through. You've got kind of parts of it where you could potentially get kicked off if you're not up to scratch. And if that's not your kind of learning style, if you don't learn well under pressure, there's just no point. You might as well self-teach. If you've got discipline, I would just recommend self-teaching. If you don't have discipline, I feel like I'm not the most disciplined person. I will not get up from 9 till 5 and work solidly every day. It's probably good for you for some structure and maximize efficiency of your time spent learning. Now, most people do boot camps not just for fun. We want to get a job at the end of it. So how useful is it in that aspect? I was lucky because my boot camp had a careers aspect to it. So everyone had a careers coach who would go through your CV with you and then ask you to change things. And also we had our own job board where any partners that partnered up with the bootcamp company would put their jobs on the job board. I think that was pretty useful, or we might get first pick of some jobs as well. But I do think that some people think if you just do a boot camp, you'll get a job. It's not always the case, because there's so many people on even the same cohort as me that haven't still got a job, and they might not have a job a year later. Because if you think about it, you're competing with all these people that have gone through the same learning and they have the same ability. So it's kind of difficult to stand out, which is where people trip up, because I think a lot of getting a job is the interview prep, and not everyone does that well. I do think that people that aren't used to doing interviews and haven't had that past experience will find it difficult to get through, the really rigorous stages of the interview process. You have about 3 stages. You have tech tests, you have technical questions, and for some people, they're just not prepared for that, so they'll find it difficult. I mean, eventually, I think with that experience from the boot camp, you definitely can get a job. It's just you need to pair that with interview prep. So to recap, is coding boot camps worth it? Yes, if you're the type of person who can work well under pressure and go through an intense course. And also, if you're willing to do the interview prep alongside your course, then you can definitely land a job. However, if you're considering doing a coding bootcamp versus self-teaching, and coding bootcamp costs a lot of money, I do definitely think you can get a job with just self-teaching, but you have to be really disciplined and you have to have a lot of good projects on your Git that you can showcase to interviewers or companies. I do think that might be a harder route because you're not spoon-fed content, but it's 100% doable because so many people, even in the company that I currently got a job in, have not come from coding backgrounds necessarily and are self-taught. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you're struggling applying for jobs or you need some advice, I've just made a video because I've just gone through that experience, so it's very fresh in my mind, and I share some tips that I picked up along the way and that helped me land my first job. But other than that, I'll see you next time.